Okay. All right. We are recording and welcome to the Monday night version of the Sparta Nation Sunday night call. This is the Monday night post Mother's Day version of it. And tonight we have a special guest speaker in our very own April Keever. I know April's got slides to show us a little bit later. And I also, this is the best part about these amazing leaders that are speaking on our team calls. I have zero idea what April is talking about tonight and have absolute 100% believe it's going to be amazing. So that's the best part. We have so many powerful, strong veteran leaders on our team that we can just go have at it, and it's amazing. So, and Rihanna, we have to get that link from last week. Maybe just post it in the team page. I know it's hard to get it from your laptop, like over to my list, my YouTube channel. So maybe just drop it in a file in the team page, because I know people are asking about that. They want to make sure that they're getting that. So let's make sure that we have that accessible to everyone, or send it to me and I can send it out in an email as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I know people have had busy weekends, and I know that May is very busy, but every month is busy, and June will be busy, and July will be busy, and August will be busy, and everything's busy. And believe it or not, this is craziness, but I just today printed off the Butler football schedule for 2019, the Marymount Manhattan move-in schedule for August 2019, the Pace University move-in schedule for 2019, Jenna's George Washington University move-in schedule for 2019. August is like 3 months from now. I've already printed off, I already put it in the calendar. I mean, that's how fast time flies. So there is no non-busy time of the year. So I appreciate all of you showing up tonight, because I know April's got good stuff for us tonight. One thing that I did want to share, well, a couple things that I did want to share. One was we do have the snapshot into coaching that is going on, and it's going on throughout the month of May. I've been sharing about it in the team newsletters. So if you get those, or if you don't get them directly, there is a link in the Facebook page that you can click that and sign up. So I can only drill down so many layers within the Coach Online office, but there is a link in the Sparta Nation Facebook group underneath the files, and you can click that and sign up for it directly. So if you happen to be 10 levels down and the Coach Online office won't grab you in that data grab, you can sign up for it directly and not depend on your upline coach to send it to you. And in that email that I send out every single Sunday, team call or not, I send it out every single Sunday. I've been talking about the snapshot into coaching. And so for the last week, for this week, next week, every week in May, the first 3 days of the week, there are coaches live in that group sharing information about coaching. So at any point in time, you can put a potential coach in that group and know that they're going to get some information about joining your team as a coach. So you don't have to worry about running your own sneak peek. You also don't have to worry about what to invite to this month, because even if you don't have a challenge group maybe that's starting right away, you have this snapshot in the coaching group that you can invite to, and they can live in that group for a couple days. You can follow up with them, and hopefully the information that is in that group, that stays in that group, will entice them, help them, educate them, inspire them to join your team. And the information that was there last week stays there, and then it's 3 new coaches sharing this week with a lot of the same concepts and content, but yeah, their own stories and their own take on it. And then next week there'll be 3 new coaches, and then the next week there'll be 3 new coaches. So they can hear, lots of different stories, basically the same content, because it is the same content. Coaching is amazing. Coaching is going to change your life. We're going to press play, drink shake, and read a book, and to share with others, and da-da-da-da-da. But here's their story in a way that might relate with your potential coach differently than how you do. So please use that. That link was sent out in the team email. It was dropped in the team Facebook page. Use that, invite to that. That is an amazing tool for you to bring new people to, and you don't have to worry about explaining, like, what is this coaching thing? Put them in that and let veteran coaches do the talking for you, and then let them stay in there all week, and then make sure you're following up with them. So that's just such a really, really great tool. And then the other piece that I wanted to share with you was something that Sydney Maurer shared on a little mastermind call that we did last week. And I shared it in the Rise to Diamond group. And I think it's so valuable that I have to share it here too. Sydney was talking about social media and social media sort of being the gateway into our businesses, and how so many coaches struggle with what to post. And so her instructions were to write down 20, and there's no real good word for it, 20 things, 20 items, 20 changes, 20 somethings about Beachbody that you love. Maybe it's about your life different now than before Beachbody. Maybe it's about what Beachbody has given you, whatever it might be. 20 things about Beachbody that you love. Write those down in a list of 20. Those become your next 20 social media posts. So it's like 3 weeks of social media posts. You just gave yourself 3 weeks of topics for your social media. And when you're done, when you get to the end of those 20, take yourself right back to the top of it and start recycling again, because in those 3 weeks, you're going to have new stories, new pictures, new additions. And also, if you repeat yourself, who freaking cares? Because people need to hear something multiple times where they go, oh, she's legit. She really is changing her life with this business. So we want to, as Sydney said, get people to the point where they can almost tell our story for us. They've heard it that many times. So I encourage you this week to just take a piece of notebook paper, so a piece of legal pad, whatever, and number it 1 through 20 and write down the 20 things you love about Beachbody. There's your next 3 weeks of social media posts. That was such a simple and brilliant takeaway from the mastermind that I did with her and some other coaches last week that I just can't keep that to myself. I've been telling everyone that I possibly can, because I think it's so tangible. It's so actionable. You could do it tonight and start with number 1 tomorrow and use it for the next 3 weeks and then start again. And also, if you share with other coaches, maybe you have a success partner, a success pod, some other coaches that you work with, if you share that list with some others, chances are your creativity will be sparked. They'll have something slightly different on their list than you will. And you'll go, oh yeah, I want to do that. Take it. They don't own it. You can share the lists, because chances are that thing changed your life too. They just happen to think of it and put it on their list. So if you share those lists, now you can have even more social media posts. You might come up with a whole month's worth. I mean, seriously, is that not the most brilliant and simple idea? Like when she said it, April, you were on the cut. Were you like, why did I not think of that? That's just so brilliant, because it's all authentic to you and your story and in your life. So that's your task for this week. If you could do that this week, then you will no longer get up in the morning and go, what am I posting about today? Because you will have already written it out. Okay, that's it for me. April, I'm letting you take over, and I'm putting you on the big screen, the speaker view, because if you put me on the speaker view right now, I've been up since 3:30 a.m. this morning. So I'm like this with my eyeballs, and you will see the bags and the wrinkles underneath my eyes. So do not put me on speaker view. Everyone put April on speaker view, because she looks cute and she has slides. So I'm putting myself, and I'm putting you on speaker view.
Are we going? Oh, it is recording. Okay, good. Thank you guys, and thanks Julie for inviting me to speak tonight. My name's April Keever, if I haven't met you. Hello. I've been part of Julie's team since 2010, and a little background on my story is I took about 2 years to dive into the business. And my goal for any of my new coaches, and my goal for you, is to never take that long to get started. I feel like I wasted 2 years, but I also know that there was time of growth and everything's meant to be. But I hope you encourage your coaches, whether they're signing up on the discount or not, to take a look at what the business has to offer right away and right out of the gate. Just 1 second. Hey, Shane, Grace is calling. So you want to answer the phone? Okay. You never know. When there's teenagers driving, you might have to answer the phone. You just never know. So I've been a coach since 2010, started working in the business in 2012 and started dabbling in it. And once I kind of understood the basics of what coaching was all about, I didn't run 1,000 miles per hour. I took it upon like a marathon. Like I did my vital behaviors and I just wanted to grow, and I had goals. Sometimes I achieved them, sometimes I did not. But I've hit Success Club I think 80 some months now, something like that, which I'm pretty proud of because I was taught by my coach that Success Club is non-negotiable, and that's what we do as coaches. And so that's just what I do. And I tried to lead from the forefront, and I always hit it because I would never expect my coaches to hit it if I'm not hitting it myself. So I've grown over the course of so over many years. I don't know, that would require math right now. But I love what I do. I am a lifer when it comes to Beachbody. I'm a lifer when it comes to helping people with their health and wellness. And I just hope for you guys, and if you're on this call, then most likely you are a lifer as well, that you give it your all when it comes to this business so that the people that you bring on know that they always have you to count on. Because I think that's probably one of the most disheartening things is to see coaches kind of throw it away and know that they brought people on and then they're like, okay, now what? So just remember that when you are engaging with your customers or with your coaches, that you need to set the example and be the example for them. And not in the most perfect way or, just real life coach. Because I feel like that's what our team embodies is we are just real life moms and dads trying to make it happen. And we just do our best on a daily basis. So I have 10 tips for you guys. And I'm going to kind of share some slides. I'm a visual person. Usually when I'm taking notes, there will be drawings, there will be like graphics, there will be arrows. It ends up turning out to be really pretty at the end of it. But I wanted you to see something visually. Sometimes that helps you take notes. I feel like we learn a little bit more. So I'm going to head and share my screen and then just I'm going to have to hit present. So Canva, if you don't know, creates really cool presentations. So I'm going to hit present. No transition style. Let's not get fancy. Present. Okay, can you guys see that okay? Just nod your head. Okay, cool. So how to reach your goals and how to show up in your business over the next 20 days. I think sometimes when it comes to our business, we think such long-term that we forget to do the daily vital behaviors that get us doing what we need to do today. And so I want you to focus on what you're going to do over the next 20 days. And you can look at your business in a monthly increment, quarterly, and all the way to the end of the year. But if you're not doing what you need to do today, the other stuff's going to matter. So I'm going to go ahead and click the next slide. Okay, 10 things to do right now. I pulled this quote out because I think that it's very important to remember that success usually comes to those who are too busy to look for it. So when you are so busy doing the things that help you grow your business, you're not worried about all of these other things that are going on, and success is going to happen to you. So get busy doing the important things that make our businesses grow versus getting busy doing all the other little things that just keep us busy and like those badge of honor things that we think we need to say at the end of the day, like I did all of the things. And then sometimes we forget to do the most important things. So I'm going to go over some of the important things. I'm also going to talk about what Julie talked about the list of 20. I put that in the slide because, again, it's so valuable, and Sydney was brilliant in sharing that with us. So I'll dive a little bit deeper, but she kind of covered everything. So step 1, document and map out what you must achieve over the next 20 days. So what do you need to achieve in the next 20 days to make you feel like you've had a successful month? Success looks different for every coach. Some coaches have a goal of, say, Success Club 30 or 10 coaches, or it might be Success Club 5 or 6 and 2 coaches. You have to define that, number 1. But you have to also define like what is going to be non-negotiable for you. So I set years ago, way before they kind of changed the rules a little bit, I set Success Club 5 as my non-negotiable. And then Beachbody, a couple years in, changed the rules a little bit to where once you hit Success Club 10, you got paid customers for free. So that was an additional $60 maybe a week. It depended on the month or the weeks, but like I was getting paid to hit Success Club 10. So to me, that was a non-negotiable. I changed my goal because I thought it was a no-brainer to hit Success Club 10. And then I know we have this amazing goal going right now with a bunch of coaches that Success Club 30 is our goal. So you decide what that is for you, but you make that your non-negotiable no matter what. For me, it's Success Club 10 minimum and then beyond. What do you need to do? What do you need to achieve financially, physically, and emotionally? So those kind of touch on financially, how many people do you need to help to meet some financial goals that you might need to reach in your business? It could be paying off a credit card. It could be putting your kid into camp this summer. It could be going on a vacation and booking and paying for the flights or the hotel. What does that look like to you? And you have to be clear in that, because you don't want to go willy-nilly through this. And at the end of the month go, well, I tried, and then not have a goal and then think, well, am I being successful in my business? What does that look like to you? So define that. That's super important. And physically, what does that look like? Do I need to press play every day and follow a specific calendar, like 21 Day Fix Extreme, or if you're doing Lift 4, if you're doing a hybrid, what does that look like for you? Do you have some physical goals? Pounds lost, inches lost, just completing a program, doing a pull-up, whatever that looks like to you, because we are the product of the product. And I think that you should have some physical goals built in as well, and talk about those, because I think it's not always a scale victory. For me today, my non-scale victory, which I talked about in my stories, was holding that stupid 30-second push-up hold on my toes. And I did it twice. And that to me was like, I can conquer the world now. Like, it didn't have to be a scale thing. For me, it was that push-up move. So that kind of like fueled me today. And then emotionally, what do you have to dive into personal development wise to fuel your bucket? Is it a leadership thing? Is it a time management thing? Where are you at emotionally? What do you need to do to fill that bucket to make you the best coach that you can be? So those are some step one. Document and map it out. All right, step two. I have a spelling error. Oh, silly. Ask your team about their need and priorities as soon as possible. I think the hardest part about coaching and having a team is not knowing where all of your coaches stand every single month. So ask them, like, when you get off this call tonight, if you know already, awesome. But if you're not sure, if you have coaches that are kind of this way, send them a message. I need to know what your goals are for the end of this month right now and how I can help you. Number one, ask them these questions. Are you committing to Success Club? Don't ask them, are you going to try to hit Success Club? Ask them if they're committing to it. That's giving, it's like asking them for the yes. You want them to commit to the yes. You want to give them a reason to like hit it, not to like a way out. I think trying is amazing, but commit to it. Say that you're going to do it. It sets a more positive vibe to it versus, well, I'm going to try. And it's almost like, it's like when you say, I'm going to try to make it to that, party. And then you're like, you have no intention of going. You know what I mean? So commit to it and just say, yes, it's going to happen. Even if it's scary and it makes you nervous and whatever, commit to it. So ask them that. Two, ask them where can you collaborate? Where do they need help? Because I think that with coaching, the more you can collaborate and work together, it just takes so much pressure off of your plate and so many things off of your plate that it's a no-brainer. So if they need help with something, if they're in a super busy season of their life, ask them where you can collaborate. I love my teen challenge group because people take turns doing things and we divide and conquer. And it's like, it's nice to hear from other people as well. So ask them where you can collaborate. Three, how can you help them succeed? Sometimes they're afraid to ask you for help. So if you ask them, how can I help you succeed? They may not know the answer, but it might get them talking, and they might, just kind of working through some issues that they might have, or some fears that they might have, or some inactivity, or actually having them own up to their inactivity. So you have to just ask them. And then where can you connect more? Where can we connect more? Where can we vibe more to make this a fun experience for everybody? All right. And if you have any questions, just put it in the chat. I can't see them right now, but I'll see them later. Step 3, focus on inviting before anything else. This is the one thing I think this is the bloodline to our business. I wish it was like we had one vital behavior and then 3 other things that would make you an amazing coach. Inviting is the bloodline. It's the fuel. It is what you do. Like, it's like this Shakeology for our business growth. That's what inviting is. So if you're going to do anything in your business, I know it's important to be on stories, and it's important to share your story, and it's important to do your workout. I feel like those are just non-negotiable activities, and that if we just focused every single day on our non-negotiable thing, that would be inviting. And I don't think that we can say that enough. And it goes beyond just posting with a call to action. Those are amazing. Don't get me wrong on that. Super amazing, because it's sharing your story, but it's that private message. That's the invite. The other things are just like leaving little breadcrumbs. The inviting is the private message. It's picking up the phone, it's sending the text, it's meeting somebody for coffee. That's the inviting part that I think you really connect with customers more if you do that. And again, don't stop posting, don't stop on your stories, but get the invitation thing done as soon as possible. And it's the bloodline for your business, and do it without judgment. Just get it out there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 it, 5-second rule. Just do it without fear, without judgment, and without holding back. Sydney told a really great story on the call last week about how one of her friends was a coach, and she messaged them and said, well, why have you never invited me? And the girl said, well, you didn't look like you needed any workouts, or you were so busy living this life. And it's like, we are basing our judgment, which is social media in general, on what we see in their highlight reel. We don't know if they're suffering. We don't know that they hate their job. We don't know that maybe they're really tired, or they are missing that sense of community. We don't know that based on the highlight reel, because we can just kind of we get a big picture without really knowing that person. So invite everybody, and invite them often. I feel like a lot of my challengers lately, or the last month or two, have been people that I've been inviting for like 4 years. So please don't give up on those people. Invite them again. And even in your message, say, hey, it's me again, still here. You can tell me yes or no. Like, if you're done seeing this invite from me, just tell me right now. And you can do it in a fun voicemail. Like, listen, girl, I know. And then just be honest and invite them again. And it's so funny. The more I do that, and the more I like show my personality in there, the more people are like, yes, let's do this. Like, duh. So make sure you're inviting is the most important thing that you get done in your business on a daily basis. All right. Step 4, create the best customer experience for your challengers. So we are the first line of customer support for our challengers. We're the go-to person for them. So create that best experience for them. And one thing that I've started doing with my Shakeology users or my customer leads is, after I've seen they've ordered something, I introduce myself, but then I ask them for a feedback request on what they've ordered. And that's the title of mine, Shakeology feedback request. I see that you ordered da-da-da-da. Tell me how you're liking it. What's your favorite flavor if they ordered a sampler pack? Get interacting with them, and don't give them difficult questions. Don't invite them to the next thing. Just get them talking on the one thing that they're doing, and then learn about their health and fitness goals, and then maybe invite them to the next thing. But it doesn't have to be so overloaded with information that they're like, holy cow, this girl, I don't even know her, but she's inviting me to 75 different things. And I just ordered Shakeology because my brother told me to, and I don't even know who you are. So just request that information, slight introduction. It could be a fitness program feedback check-in, a new product announcements that are coming up if you've seen in your customer base, a nutrition review. How's your nutrition looking? Where are you struggling? Here's a 5-day free menu plan if you're stuck on what to make for dinner for next week. Super easy things to get interacting with your customers. Step 5 is be flexible and ready to adapt. Sometimes you have to do that. Like on days that don't necessarily go the right way, be flexible with that and just be ready to change if you need to change. I think what's really cool is, like, if something's not working, be open to feedback ask for feedback and be coachable and be willing to adapt to those things that might need to be changed. I've had tough conversations with Julie, and she'd be like, hey, girl, you need to do this, or you need to do this, you need to do this. Why are you doing this? And I could take that as being, well, I suck. Or I could take it as like, oh, thank goodness somebody's telling me what I could do better so I can utilize those tips and then be better at the end of the day. So don't be afraid to ask your coach or your upline or your accountability partner for some feedback, and then be flexible and ready to adapt if you need to. All right, step 6. This is what Julie kind of talked about earlier about Sydney Maurer's call last week. And I just finished mine today and sent them to Sydney, so she got those today. But 20 things you love about coaching. And what's really cool about this, and what I was thinking about today, is that they're kind of like reflections, observations about how coaching has changed your life, who you were, like Julie said, before and now, maybe what you want to become in the future because of coaching, or what goals you have. It's okay to share your goals with the world. Let people know what you're trying to achieve. So you can, what I would do is number those things, number the numbers. So like I have 20 things on my paper right here. And in your calendar for the next 20 days, you're going to put, you might, like your number 7 might be on a Tuesday, but look through it. So if number 7 was, you know, stronger than ever, or a before and after transformation thing that you love about coaching, that could go on that day, because Transformation Tuesday. So kind of like number them out and then put those numbers into your calendar. And you could also schedule those things out. So you could have your photo ready. You could kind of save it in a Google Doc where you can just copy paste, or schedule it if you're super busy. There's no reason in this coaching business that you have to get overwhelmed and you have to make it complicated. So if you're not sure what to say, you don't have to word vomit. Keep it super simple. Keep it simple. Like that's what coaching really is simple. We're just changing lives, and we're changing here. We're helping people change their lives. So keep it simple. It doesn't have to be, not every post has to be 16 paragraphs. You know what I mean? Like if you can keep it short and sweet and let the picture speak volumes. But put a call to action in there usually if you're posting something like this, and invite them in that picture. And then you can use that picture and that feedback on that post to invite the next day. So like, okay, who just commented on that before and after? Let me go back to that. Let me make those invites. Let me put those people on the top of my list. Or maybe they've been on your list for a while. It's time to follow up with them. So 20 things, like Julie said, write them out. That becomes your schedule and your game plan. It also gives you an opportunity for a number. So like I have number 12 for me, the ability to support myself and contribute to the family. So it's a financial post. I might think about, okay, what kind of picture can I use for that? Can I go back and maybe use a vacation photo that we just went on and utilize that? So what photos do I already have? Or that also gives you an idea of what photo you can set up for the future. So you could say, okay, financial picture, vacation. It could be going out to eat with your family. So kind of think about it for a second. And you really should spend some time kind of writing these things out, but just go with your gut. Like if somebody just asked you right now to list 20 things, you should be able to do that. If you're brand new, it may look different than mine, and that's okay. And that's why I think it's going to be really cool to share these lists with other people, because you can feed off of their list and be like, I didn't even think of that. Like, yeah, I feel the same way. You're not going to copy and paste their words, but you're going to use that same message because you maybe just didn't think of it. And that's okay too, because it happens. So write them out, number them, add those numbers to your calendar, and kind of come up with a game plan, and then recycle them. So if you know, like the next 20 days, you're going to talk about financial gain again, then great. You have that. You might tweak your words a little bit, but honestly, even in social media, I get asked, or I get in my email inbox from companies almost daily, sometimes from a specific company. And usually around like the 7th or 8th time, I'm like, what is it that they want me to buy? And then I just buy it. So like it takes sometimes 7 or 8 times interacting with a person or inviting them to something before they do actually commit to that. But like Julie said earlier, people want to know that you're serious. People don't want to know that you're just like into that fitness thing just some days. They want to know that you're showing up, you're doing the things, and that you're serious about it, because we don't want a wishy-washy coach. So commit, make sure people know that. Let me see this chat. I can't see the chat right now. All right, steps 7 and 8. Combined slide right here. Follow up with everyone. Even if you don't think that they're interested, if they ghosted you, follow up with them. Be honest with me, like, hey, I know that you saw my post. I know you're super busy right now, and you probably saw this in the carpool lane and you couldn't respond. Fill in the blank. You know, people are busy and they see things sometimes in a spot that they cannot respond, or they want to think about it. Can I answer any more questions about it? Can I help you get started? Can I, you know, whatever that follow-up question response would be, follow up with everybody. But the only way to like really make headway with this is tracking those people. And if you're tracking on pen and paper and maybe putting them into Streak, or just pen and paper only, you can use different highlighters for like different responses. If they're like a definite no, right now, you might put like a high pink highlighter over those people. If they're needing more information, you might highlight them with yellow, so you can see visually, I'm just a visual person, who I need to connect with as soon as possible. And then the people that maybe haven't responded, maybe you don't highlight them at all, and you go back and follow up with those people as well. Step 8, participate in your team's events. Yeah, show up on the team calls, which you're here, so that's amazing. I know we changed the night for tonight, so it kind of probably threw a few people off, and that's okay. That's why we record it. But show up in your team events, live events, Facebook events. It could be your team challenge groups. It could be your team business opportunities. Show up in those things. Even if you don't have a single person in that, say, business opportunity, or you don't have a single person in that challenge group yet, and you might be the first coach on your team, like you just started, you're starting your own team, you don't have anybody yet, but you're still in the challenge group, show up and act like the coach that you want to be. There's no reason that you have to wait or have permission or have a team of 10 before you show up like a team of a 15-star diamond coach. Okay, show up every single day like the coach that you want to be. All right, step 9. I have like these views, I have to move this thing. Set your expectations for your coaches. So I think the biggest mistake that I made with my coaches in the beginning was not setting up those expectations, because I took 2 years to really dive into the business. So I'm just being honest, I was afraid to push them away. I was like setting my fears and my insecurities and pushing those onto them, not even intentionally. Like I wasn't conscious of doing that. And it wasn't until a couple of years ago, I was like, what? My vibe is that I'm afraid to let these people succeed, or I'm going to push them away. But that's doing such a disservice to them. Because if I wasn't told that I could do this, this, and this, and this in the beginning of my coaching career, like my starting coaching career, not when I signed up, then I would have just been like, oh, I had no idea that I could have been making all this money and you never told me. And all I had to do was help 3 people a month. So set those expectations with those people. And you can do this with your discount coaches. This is what an active business building coach looks like, and it could be a hobby. These are the activities that we do. A coach hits Success Club monthly. A coach adds coaches to their team. They post on social daily. They show it up in their groups, challenge group, biz op group. They are held accountable to their fitness and their physical or financial goals. And then they're open to receiving feedback. So you can give them feedback. That's what an active coach does. Those are the activities beyond the 4 vital behaviors. That's what you should do as far as setting expectations with those new coaches. They can decide if they want to dive into that. But if you don't set those expectations right from the gate, they might, number one, have no idea if you didn't give them that opportunity to earn some money. They may not know. So don't assume that they just want to be the discount, and don't be afraid of pushing them away. I would rather know and make that decision for myself than to not have ever been offered that opportunity at all. I wouldn't be in this position if I wasn't offered the opportunity. I would probably be a miserable, I don't know, I'd probably have to have like a 9-to-5 job or something. I would literally lose my mind. So give them the opportunity. I can't imagine doing that. Whew. So thankful for this. All right, step 10, super important, because I think every single month, some months are easier than others. They just are. And you get down sometimes to the nitty gritty, and you know you have goals that you want to achieve because you've already established those goals and you've set your non-negotiables, and it comes down to like, holy moly, I'm not sure this is going to happen. But if you set your non-negotiable up from the very get-go, that's kind of like your why every single month. That's your business why. Like your overall why might be to like help your family, whatever, but you got to reach those monthly goals to kind of make those things happen. So you really have to dig deep, and you have to like go to your list, and you have to like commit to never giving up and just making it happen. And if you're not sure how to make it happen, then you got to go back to your list. You have to talk to your upline coach. You have to talk to your accountability partner. But do not ever feel like you're number one alone, that your coach won't help you. We need to know, I think as a coach, I think it's super important. I feel like you guys all are running your businesses, that we want our coaches to come to us and they're afraid that they're going to be a bother. I would rather be bothered 7 million hours a day if I can help my coaches succeed. So never give up and make it happen every single month, because there are so many people in this world that need our help. We just have to ask. So don't be afraid to ask and invite everybody, especially on Instagram. Like I got this no today, no thanks, I'm not interested. And I was like, thank you. Thank you so much for telling me. I appreciate that, because I love the no's. And I was like, oh, that was a bummer. She said no. I'm like, why am I mad about this Instagram person I don't even know saying no to me? I am not at a loss at all. Like it just is like, okay, I'm going to invite you again. You just don't know it yet. So anyway, those are the 10 steps. I'm going to unshare. If I know how to do this, hang on. There we go. Stop share. And open it up to any questions. Let me see here. April, do you have any tips on following up? Oh, like business? Are you talking about business invites? Where are you at? You follow up just like you would a challenge group. It's just a different type of invitation. So just go back in and follow up with them and say, hey, are they already in the biz op group, or are they just, you haven't got that next step? Then go with the next step. Hey, maybe you're not ready yet to commit yet, but would you like to learn more? I could give you the information. Sometimes it might be that you have to screenshot a couple things and just give it to them. Give them a video, send them a link. It may not be always traditional in the sense that they're in that Facebook group. It might be they just need a video to see. You might invite them into your team page for a second. You have to be flexible and willing to just keep following up, because like every business person says, the fortune is in the follow-up. And when we don't follow up, you open the door to let somebody else invite them and follow up with them. And then you're like, oh, I invited them, or I should have invited them. Not that that's happened to me. Yes, it has. So always follow up with them. You said I could just show you. Oh, if you're keep inviting over the coaching app to the same person, just bless and release and just kind of move on. They're not ready yet. You planted the seed. It might be a year, but you keep planting the seed. Julie said later media. Oh yeah. Later media apps that you can use to plan out your social media if you want to see it laid out ahead of time. Only April and definitely. I need new markers, because I just use like 4 markers and they're all dry. Like I need some new office supplies. Okay. I don't know why I'm so hesitant with that versus the boot camps. Maybe call it a business boot camp. It's a fitness business boot camp versus a physical boot camp. I think probably, Kelsey, like a lot of coaches, you're probably stuck here. And so when you make your list of 20 things and you're like really looking at how coaching has changed your life, you'll be able to share that and like relay that information about how much it's changed your life, that you'll just speak from your heart, and then like the hesitation is gone. And you will connect with the people that you need to connect with. Because we don't want everybody, because not everybody's going to be a match for us. So any other questions?
I just talked in the Rise to Diamond group kind of about this topic because, Kelsey, you're answering your own question, and especially because it's a smaller call, we can kind of dive a little deeper. I don't know why you're so hesitant. Well, we don't know either. So stop being it. Like, that's just a choice. Like, just stop. What are you waiting on? Why are you wasting time and energy on being hesitant? And I watched these questions in the Rise to Diamond group, and the word that kept coming up, because once one person uses it, then it's like, then everyone latched onto it and everyone started using it. Yes, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And they kept saying, I just keep overthinking it. I just keep overthinking it. And I would like to, because since thinking happens in our head and there's no way to quantify it, I would like for someone to be able to explain to me exactly what the word or term overthinking means. Because who gets to decide that? You, me, the person? Who knows? Because it's all happening up in here. So is overthinking actually taking a moment to write a thoughtful response? I don't think so. What I think people are terming overthinking is just not doing anything.
I feel like it's a decision. Overthinking is a decision to not do it.
Just not do it. So then we're like, we'll call it overthinking it. So that there's like, well, I'm an overthinker. Like, there's a way out. No, that's not a way out. That's just you just not doing anything. So I encourage the Rise to Diamond group, if we could just remove the word overthinking, because there is no way to qualify that. It might take someone 30 seconds to craft a thoughtful response. It might take someone else 5 minutes to craft a thoughtful response. Is the 5-minute person overthinking it, or do they just need a little bit longer? Well, who gets to decide that? I don't know, because it's all happening up in here and nobody can see it. So we just need to remove that word, because I think it's just a cover up for not taking action.
And I think too, like overthinking, like if you're overthinking a lot of things, which women tend to do this, that automatically puts doubt into your vibe. And if doubt is in your vibe, when you are sharing your things, they're going to read through a little bit of that doubt. Mm-hmm. So again, go back to that list of 20 things and be powerful things, be passionate, type it out with a smile, respond and talk with a smile so that you share that passion with those people that you're inviting to. So don't have that. This takes practice. Like, I don't think anybody, like, we all like only know how to coach up to this point right now. What we're going to learn tonight might help us be a better coach tomorrow or the rest of the evening or the future. So don't be hard on yourself. Just think, okay, if I get to that moment where I'm overthinking, and you can pinpoint it, because we all have those moments, 5-second rule that ish. Be over it, be done with it, and write out your response, send the invite, because you're only giving them a blessing. You're giving them an opportunity to be blessed, and there's no overthinking about that. So don't, just be passionate and happy and powerful about it in your responses, and use, I think this 20 things I love about coaching will honestly help everybody. Number one, have an idea of what to post every day, but really to let their life-changing moments shine through in their posts or their stories. So it doesn't have to be a post. It could be your stories as well.
And I don't think people need to get all caught up in their heads about, well, it'll sound like other people's, or who cares? Of course it'll sound like other people's. Of course 400,000 other Beachbody coaches will say, the fitness changed my life. Of course I will. That's the business, so that's okay. We're all going to have a lot of similarities but because our lives are all uniquely ours, the stories will still be uniquely ours, even if the way it's changed us is is similar. So we just have to get over that. And I think really at the end of the day, we all, including myself, I heard I heard it in my book I was listening to, and I wrote it down when I was driving. Is that legal? I don't know. Also, I got stopped for speeding this last Thursday, and the guy goes, wait, I was telling Rita this on Thursday. He goes, wait, you look familiar. And I go, do you work out? And he goes, yes. And I said, at home? He goes, my wife does. And I go, do you do Beachbody On Demand? He goes, yes. I go, do you do Shanti programs? He goes, yes. And he goes, oh, that's where I know you. And I did not get a ticket. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying that may or may not have helped me. Anyway, I did write this down while I was driving, and it was just, it's not that deep. The book I'm listening to is Jen Sincero, and she's like, it's not that deep. And I'm like, it's not that deep. Like, it is, but it's not that deep. You know, we try to make all this stuff about it so hard. No, it's not. It's really not that deep. We're working out. We're drinking a really awesome shake. We're putting really good stuff in our head. We're hanging out with really amazing people, and we'd like even more amazing people to join us. It's really not that deep. So when we think of it that way, I think that helps us with inviting. We know that it is deep and that it's life-changing and it can change us on a cellular level. We know that. But just when you're going through your day, it's just not that deep. Go squat, make your shake, read your book, and send an invite. It's not that deep. And then the accumulation of those events create something that is very, very deep, but in that moment of inviting, it's not that deep. And if you happen to be in a Shanti video, it may help you get out a speed ticket. So that is your advice.
I think I'm going to say, well, do you work out on Beachbody On Demand? Because my coach, she was in the Shanti video. You might remember her. Yeah, I'm her friend.
I'm like, Jesse's in the passenger seat, of course, going, oh, for heaven's sake. I'm like, well, you know, every once in a while, it's a helpful thing to have on your resume. So there you go. April, this was great. Your slides are amazing, and I didn't know you could do a presentation in Canvas, so I also learned that tonight. And I wrote down all your notes, and I'm going to use them with some of my brand new coaches tomorrow. So if they're on here, you're going to hear some of the same information tomorrow. And that's called collaboration, people, collaboration. So I'm looking forward to posting this and sharing this. And maybe when I'll put the link in the team page, and then maybe you could put the link to the slides underneath it too, so people can see the slides as well and share them with their teams. So awesome. You guys rock. I know we're middle of May here, so let's get to crack-a-lackin'. I want to hear any of this. No one wants to buy because we all know that. All right, so let's go find our 3 people, put a 0 on the end of it, 30, and let's be about it. All right, make it a great rest of your week. I think we're going to get up to 80 degrees here. So see, we're on the upswing. Have a good week, you guys.